youngest son was kidnapped in March 1932, the crime dominated headlines the world over. All hope of finding little Charles Jr. alive was lost when the baby's body was discovered 2 months later. It wasn't until 1934 when a suspect emerged, Bruno Richard Hauptmann. Hauptmann was tried and convicted, and despite his insistence that he was innocent, he was executed by electric chair in 1936. One of the most sensational trials in all of history, the kidnapping and murder of the Lindbergh baby encouraged Congress to pass the Federal Kidnapping Act, which made ferrying a kidnapping victim across states a federal crime. An heir to the Getty fortune, John Paul Getty III had allegedly joked about staging his own kidnapping to earn the ransom. Unfortunately, when he was actually kidnapped in Rome in 1973, the Getty family initially didn't believe the crime had really occurred, and his grandfather refused to pay the $17 million ransom. Finally, when Getty's ear was mailed to a newspaper, the elder Getty paid up, and Getty was released. But the ordeal had changed him and altered his health forever. Addicted to painkillers and alcohol, he had a stroke that left him quadriplegic in 1981. He died in 2011 at the age of 54. Heiress Patricia Hearst was kidnapped in 1974 by the Sudanese Liberation Army, a homegrown American terrorist group. During her 19 months with the group, Hearst participated in a number of serious crimes, including bombings and armed robberies. She later said at trial that she had done all these things under the threat of rape and death. Her kidnapping case is cited regularly while discussing Stockholm Syndrome, in which a kidnapping victim identifies or sympathizes with his or her captors. Six-year-old Adam Walsh was kidnapped from a Sears department store in Florida in 1981. Tragically, his remains were discovered 2 weeks later. Adam's father, John Walsh, became an advocate for victims and eventually served as the host of America's Most Wanted. Convicted serial killer Otis Toole confessed to Adam's murder, but at the time, authorities didn't believe him and he wasn't charged. Toole died in prison in 1996. In 2007, a theory emerged that Adam could have been a victim of serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer, but Florida investigators stuck by Toole as the perpetrator. In December 2008, authorities announced they were convinced Toole had killed the young boy and declared the case closed. Eileen Stan was hitchhiking in Oregon to a party in California on May 19, 1977, when she accepted a ride from Cameron Hooker. She later said she felt comfortable getting in the man's car because he was accompanied by his wife and baby. Not long after climbing into the car, however, Hooker pulled out a knife. He took Stan to a remote area and forced her inside a wooden box. What followed was a harrowing 7-year imprisonment, during which Stan suffered countless sexual assaults and physical torture. At a certain point, Hooker's wife Janice began to have doubts. She helped Gulling escape, but begged her not to report Hooker, thinking that he could be rehabilitated. Thankfully, Stan eventually alerted authorities, and the trial for Stan's kidnapping and torture began in 1985. Hooker's wife testified against her husband in exchange for immunity. Hooker was found guilty and given a 104-year prison sentence. The FBI claimed the torture Stan had suffered was like nothing they had ever encountered before.